my first love, it's been far too long. I have so much to tell you. I met someone that last summer I saw you. She was actually from your village. You could say it was love at first sight. We built a life together. She reminded me of you in quiet ways. She danced just like you. Our daughter, Hellenic, carries your name. I've told her stories about you. She hopes to meet you someday. She sings all the songs you taught me back then. We were planning to visit you, but life had other plans. You were the last thing we talked about, wishing we could see you again, together. We kept pieces of you in the house, your songs, your art, your saints, your recipes. And so, dear Greece, my first and greatest love, though I may not ever get to see you again, I want Hellenic and her children to know you the way I did, to become Greek citizens, and to love you like I always have.
Registering every birth, marriage, and death at your local consulate is an important duty of Greek citizens living abroad. Please reach out and make your appointment today and keep the story of our culture alive.
To my
promise I'm a tough girl. And finally, the stars of today's event, the Consul of Greece in Chicago, Georgia Tasiopoulou, and Mr. Kostas Margaritou, who will be giving us the bulk of tonight's presentation.
Καλησπέρα σας. Welcome to our event. If you ask me after 5 years working in Chicago if I still felt the need of an event at the end of our tenure, I would say that no one will show up. So the fact that we have a full room is a great honor for all of us at the consulate, and we really hope that we will help you understand the processes and answer all your questions. So let me start with some questions for you. Who wants to be a Greek citizen? Please raise your hand. Okay, as expected. And who thinks that this process is extremely complicated, lengthy, and never-ending? So that's exactly the reason why we're here tonight. We want to prove you wrong. And why do I say we? Because it's not just the Consul General who's here tonight, it's not just me, but the entire team of the consulate worked today from 9 to 5, and then we all came here to the museum to meet you and to discuss with you and to help you throughout this labyrinth, as you may think. So my name is Georgia Tasiopoulou. I am serving as the Consul of Greece in Chicago. I have been the head of the Citizenship Department since 2021. And before I start, I would like your warmest applause for the team of the consulate, for Kostas, for Christina, for Ioanna, for Nicole, for Katerina, for Vangelis, who are here voluntarily to talk to you and to help you through the process. Please. So I just want to say that us being here is a very symbolic gesture from our side, because normally we have people coming in the consulate with their arranged appointments, and for a change, we wanted to step out of the consulate and come closer to you. And we want you to meet us, to see our faces, to know our names, to see how the monster of the Greek bureaucracy looks like. And I can assure you that you won't understand everything at the end of this session, but you will have a better understanding of what is happening. You don't need to know the laws. This is our job, and we know them very well. My colleague Kostas, I think he recites the Greek Citizenship Code before he goes to sleep every night. So he will be able to guide you through the articles, but you don't need to know them. You just need to know what's the thinking behind the Greek framework. And because it's different than the US framework, we're here to help you understand that. So if you watch the video and you paid attention, there is one word that captures everything: registry, register. And I will explain to you why. So this is the consulate. Many of you have seen it. This, if someone has to leave the room, this is the most important piece of information that you need. Because I know that many of you don't know where to start from. And that's why we're here from you. So for all of those who want to become Greek citizens but don't know how to start, what documents you have, please send us an email. And I always say that I measure the success of this event by the number of emails that we receive in our inbox the next day. So that's all we need to know. And first, I would like to talk to you, since we have the chance that we don't usually have every day at the consulate, as we see, our appointments, is to understand the concept of citizenship. Why? Because a lot of people are thinking if you can have a passport without the citizenship, if you can have citizenship without the passport, and we want you to understand that the citizenship is not just a legal document, is not just a traveling document. What is the citizenship? It's a legal bond. And that's why that's something that we have to stress, because we want you to understand that there are a lot of layers in that legal bond. There are rights and responsibilities. Rights, as many of the speakers mentioned already, it's your birthright, which has to be exercised, and which comes with obligations towards the Greek state. So, a lot of people, when they visit us at the consulate and we ask them these questions, are a bit insulted or upset when we say, "Are you a Greek citizen?" And the answer is, "Of course I'm Greek." No doubt about that. There is a difference between the citizenship and the ethnicity. I believe, and I expect that all of you, or the majority of you, are of Greek origin, so your ethnicity is Greek. But that does not necessarily translate to a legal bond that I said earlier between you and the Greek state. So we must differentiate that. And the fact that you are of Greek origin does not mean that you have the Greek citizenship. So for me, it's very important to make this clear at the beginning. Of course, as you can see, the ethnicity is the cultural relationship of an individual with the culture and the values of a state. So, who is a Greek citizen? A person acquires the citizenship at the time of birth if this person is born to a parent of Greek nationality. So, let me say here that the only thing you need to exercise the right to your Greek citizenship, to start the process, is to have at least one Greek ancestor. And I say ancestor, I didn't say parent. Why? Because this could be your parents, this could be your grandparents, this could even be your great-grandparents. And I will explain to you why. So, as I say, why do I always want to stress that the citizenship is much more than a passport or an ID? Because that will explain why you are not Greek citizens and I am. Because my ancestors, because I was born and raised in Greece, have fulfilled all their obligation towards the Greek state, and this had resulted in my citizenship. And I will explain why I say that and why I stress that, because citizenship, yes, it is a right, but it has to be exercised. So this is the legal framework. You don't need to know that. That's the citizenship code. It's public. You can look it up, if you want to learn more, but you don't have to read that, leave that to us. We know exactly what's in there. So, the Greek citizen is someone who is duly registered in a Greek municipality. What does that mean? Before I explain more, I want to say a very fundamental thing. The difference between the US Citizenship Code and the Greek Code is that in the US it's called jus soli, it's the law of the ground. Anyone who was born in the United States has the right to be a US citizen, whereas in Greece it's called jus sanguinis, the law of the blood. So think about citizenship like a chain of events between your family, between your ancestors and you that should not be broken. And what do I mean? And I will use myself again as an example. The fact that I am a Greek citizen is because my grandparents who were in Greece registered their marriage, registered the birth of their children. My parents registered their marriage and they registered me when I was born. Okay. So, this is the magic word that you need in order to initiate the process. If you don't know where to start, in order to see if you have the right to the Greek citizenship, this is all you need to know. The family status certificate. So, a Greek citizen is anyone who is duly registered in the National Registry of the Greek state. What does that mean? All the Greek citizens are in a big list. Let's imagine that as a list that is distributed between different municipalities. So every Greek citizen belongs to a municipality. And how can you find proof of this citizenship? It's there. This is the document that you need. A lot of you might know it as merida. That's how we call it informally. The formal name is πιστοποιητικό οικογενειακής κατάστασης or family status certificate. And I will show you exactly how this looks like. That's so you might even have it in some of your records. So this is how it looks like. So the Greek citizens are organized in these family trees, as I like to call it, where you can see the information of the father, the mother, and the children. This, though, if you happen to have it at home, please go to your records tonight and look it up. Το είδος εγγραφής, the type of registration is the key to the Greek citizenship. Why? Because if this is a normal registration, κανονική εγγραφή, that means that this person is a fully registered Greek citizen. If it's an indicative registration, this is called ενδεικτική εγγραφή in Greek, that means that the process has not been completed and the person is not 100% registered. So, the thing that you have to do if you happen to have this document in your hands is to check that your registration is κανονική, is standard. What does that mean? You are a Greek citizen. You don't need to have a passport or an ID. This is the proof of your citizenship. You can issue a Greek passport or a Greek ID. And also, here comes the part of the obligations. You are obliged by the Greek law to inform and update the Greek state about all your family status changes. What does that mean? You need to inform the Greek state that you got married, that you have children, that you have a divorce, that you have a name change, anything. This is the key why many of you are not Greek citizens now. Why? Because your family migrated to the United States and forgot all about it. And had no idea. A lot of you think that because you live now in the United States that you no longer have the Greek citizenship. That happens only if you denounce your citizenship. So if you go back to your records, you will be able to find that your family members who migrated from Greece are still Greek citizens. But also that you have to register all your family status changes. Why? Because if you don't do it, if the Greek citizen who immigrated to the United States fails to inform about their marriage, that is an obstacle for their children. The children of the Greek citizen cannot move on. That's why whenever you send an email to the consulate, the first thing we do is to look back. We ask you about your parents, we ask you about your grandparents, because we want to know how far the registrations have been completed. And let me tell you one thing, that the process to do the Greek citizenship is essentially one. Everything must be registered. I am lucky because all my ancestors registered everything for me. In your case, you are not so lucky because this burden falls on you. Because think about the Greek state wanting to know everything that happens to your family here in the United States. So, this is I'm not going to go into details because the event today is for you. We want to ensure that you have the space and the time to meet us, to talk to us, and to ask your questions. So I just want to very briefly give the details of the process. This is the easiest one. If you're an offspring of 2 Greek citizens, the process through which you will become Greek citizen is by registering your birth. So, at the Consulate General of Greece in Chicago, if the birth has taken place in one of our 12 states of jurisdiction, and I will just take a moment to say here that we get a lot, that's where the lot of reaction comes, from the side of the citizens. Why, if I got married, let's say in Boston, I have to go at the consulate in Boston? So let me be clear, the Greek Citizenship Code foresees that all the registrations happen locally. And I will use my example. I was born in Cholargos, so my parents visited the municipality of Cholargos to register me. I was married in Nafplio, so I had to visit the municipality of Nafplio to register my marriage. My oldest daughter was born in New York, so I had to visit the Consulate General of Greece in New York to register my daughter. And my youngest daughter was born in Paleophalliro, so again, I had to visit the municipality of Paleophalliro. And then we have a lot of people saying, oh my God, but I have moved into a different state. Why are you making this so complicated? So here comes another secret. Based on the Greek law, the Greek citizen has a deadline to register these events. So this deadline is not 30 years, is not 40 years, it's not the reason we had the conversation 72 years later, it's actually 90 days. So the Greek law, the Greek law thinks that the citizen knows about this obligation, and what do we do after we get married? We rush to our municipality to register our marriage. There is actually an administrative fine, and that's kind of funny, that is imposed actually for all the latecomers, for all these people who found out about the process and registered their marriage after some decades, but we don't apply that. So we understand, that there's a gap. We understand that the people did not know the processes when they left from Greece. So nothing to worry about. You can register everything. So what is the process? So if it's clear to you now who is your Greek citizen, and you know what is and what's not registered, the next step for you is to contact your local consulate. Let's say if the marriage of your parents took place in New York, you have to reach out to our colleagues in New York. We will review your documents. That's the modus operandi that we have agreed upon. Because, this is another request I recently had. I will use a lot of examples here. I live in Glenview. Is there a consulate in Glenview? I don't want to drive downtown. So, as you can imagine, and I want to stress that also, it's impossible for the Greek state to have consulates in every single US state. So yes, we cover 12 states, and we understand that you have to drive all the way from Michigan or Glenview to register your marriage or birth, but that's why we want to correspond with you. A lot of people might know, my name because I have been corresponding. We're all sharing this We ask for some documents, we want to review them. Why? Because we want you to come to the consulate only once. We want you to come with your documents ready. I know that many of you feel more comfortable if we discuss things, but it's easier if we send you the list of the documents, you send us scans, we review them, and we schedule your appointment. Because we want to make sure that when you come to the consulate and you leave, all that needs to be accomplished has been accomplished. And then we book your appointment. And as I said, why? Because it's quicker, safer, and more efficient. So there comes another complaint. For example, right now at the registry department, we are scheduling our appointments a few months ahead, and we get a lot of complaints about that. But I want to share with you why. Because I went to our archives and saw our registration books from 10 years ago, from 20 years ago. These consular officers were registering 10 marriages a year, maybe 20. We registered 10 marriages a day. So there had, because of all the unregistered vital acts of decades, and I'm not exaggerating here, there has been a significant backlog of cases across the United States, in Australia, in Germany, wherever there is a Greek community. So here we just want to ask for your understanding. And you know, sometimes I'm tempted to say that with the citizens, but you know, they don't know, you know, the backstage. They don't know what we know. But you know, there's nothing urgent about registering a marriage that took place in 1952. You know, and I'm sure you know, and I have to tell you that if there is a citizen, usually like an immigrant that recently came to the United States, who had a baby, and a month later they reach out to us, just because they're following the laws they should be, we prioritize them. So because that's the letter and the spirit of the Greek law, to register everything as they happen. So this is, I will just run through this slides, you don't need more information. So you are married in the United States, but you are still single in Greece. So you or your parents or your grandparents should know that. That's the list of the documents. We just need, you know, your marriage certificate. We want to see that you got married. We want your valid passport. Please never visit the consulate without a valid passport. Whatever department you're visiting, we want your driver's license. And if you think it's very expensive, I would like to inform you that this costs $10, $12 this month based on the exchange rate with the euros. And always a Greek citizen appears to register the marriage. So all this changed in 2022. And I have to tell you that if you're thinking about it, it's the best time to do it because the processes are much quicker. COVID might have changed everything in your mind, and a lot of people want another passport, another citizenship, but it also changed the process in Greece, and there has been a wave of digitalization. This is the right time for you to start the process. So this is the birth registration. That's how your kids and your grandkids will become Greek citizens as well. Again, we need the family status certificate. So if you don't know where to start from there. You want the proof of the citizenship of your ancestor, birth certificate with the apostilo apostolis, που λένε πολλοί, and a lot of people, you know, even don't know what that is. That just verifies that this document is authentic. And this is based on a bilateral agreement between the United States and Greece. So in order for us to know that what you're submitting is an original document, we need the apostille, valid passport, and driver's license. This is $50 for the completion of the process. And I added here, when is the registration complete? So it's usually a few weeks, but this is very important to clarify that. And you should know that as Greek citizens as well. The consulates are not designed to replace your relation with the Greek state. So we are here to provide a very limited scope of services. You can do a lot of things at your local consulate. but you cannot do anything. Why do I say that? Because the birth registration, all the registrations are initiated in the consulate, but are not completed by the consulate. We don't grant citizenship, and it's important. So the day you come at the consulate, you initiate the process which has to be completed by your country, by the state of Greece. And I say that because after you register your birth, then it's up to the municipality. Some municipalities are exceptional, and I have to tell you, most municipalities are exceptional, some not. So it could vary. I have seen like a birth registration, someone becoming a citizen overnight, and I have seen a citizen waiting 2 years for that to be completed, because it's up to your municipality. Remember, you are a citizen of the municipality. You belong there. Your paperwork is there. They are your counterpart. That's where you vote as well. So that's very important to know that the Greek state is organized and the citizens in municipality. And the death registrations, that's very important for property issues, because a lot of your ancestors who immigrated in the United States have passed and have property in Greece, but a lot of you do not know that you should register their death with the Greek state. So the Greek state should know if this person is alive or not, and will be informed by the family. Again, we need the death certificate with the apostille, if there is a Greek ID, the valid passport of the person who declares the death, and the cost is also, it's also minimal. And then, because we are going through a process of digitalization in Greece, there's a number of services that you can do without our assistance. You don't need the consulate. Why? Because you can apply for your taxes net code, and you have access to a number of services without our assistance. This is good for you, this is good for us. So you want to maximize the access you have to the Greek state, and you will be surprised by the number of services that is offered to the Greek citizens online. So, I'm sure you all expect that. I can say that 70% of what we do at the consulate is trying to clear all the mess of the Greek surnames and Greek names. I don't understand why the Polish community didn't have to change all their surnames and why the Greeks had to, but I'm just joking. There is also a way to overcome these obstacles, but I just want to understand, to convey to you that it is an issue if it's one of the fundamental information of a person who changed his surname. And I should also say that the Greek citizen still has the obligation to update the Greek state, hey, I changed my surname in Greece, because this changes everything, particularly where property is also included. So that's it. I don't want to take any more of your time. Now is the time to take some questions. I will just ask you to ask general questions based on the presentation that I just had, and not your specific, specific case-related question, because I will have our team members, everyone is here, everyone is willing to sit with you, including myself, and discuss your documents. So, first thing for all of you, the homework that you have to do when you go back home tonight is to go through your papers, to familiarize yourself with these papers, because a lot of people don't even know what these papers are. And before I conclude, I want to say something which is very important for me, because I'm not only a consular officer, I'm also a Greek diplomat. So I feel the obligation to say that to you. And I was trying to figure out a way to say that in a nice way. But I will use an example. I'm not going to comment on it, I'm sure you will understand. So the citizens who reach out to us, they fall into two categories as to why they want the Greek citizens. And I will just use two emails that we recently received. I changed the names. So the one example comes from a girl in her 30s. Let's say her name is Anna. So Anna sent us an email. Good morning. I would like to complete my European citizenship ASAP. Please inform me. So when I know what you mean. mean when you say European citizenship, but what I hear is, give me the French passport, give me the Italian one, I don't care. I just want one European passport. And this really hurts my feelings. And then we have another email from a man in his 50s who sent us an email thanking us that, you know, he's in tears. I want to thank you, and I want to express my gratitude to all of you who worked on my citizenship. And I have the feeling that my father is looking down on me and he's very proud of me. So please start, we're very honored by your presence, but please make sure you do it for the right reasons and you do it with respect to your country and to your state. Thank you very much. And Kate got her passport today.
Georgia, which is very sad for me. So, we're going to have a Q&A, but first, we understand that a lot of you are here to have the consular employees look at your paperwork. That's going to be happening in the room where you came in Camara's Hall. If you don't have a specific question and you want to start making your way to Camara's Hall, that probably makes the most sense. Give people a second. Okay, well, maybe that's everybody. If you have a general question, and general questions do not start my yeah and my poo, then go ahead and raise your hand. We have people coming around with microphones. There's nothing general about your specific family.
Excuse me.
Janet and Chris, yeah. So over here.
Hello. So what determines your municipality? If my mom is from one area and my dad is from another area, what determines what municipality I would have?
Usually if we register your birth, the kids of a Greek citizen belong to the municipality of their father, but you're free to choose if you want to enroll in the municipality of your mother, or after you become a Greek citizen, with a simple application, you can go to every municipality in Greece. A lot of people want what's convenient for them, you know, if they own a house, or if they visit a specific place, you're free to do that. Initially, you fall under the municipality of your father or mother, and then with a simple application, you can choose any municipality in Greece you want.
On your birth certificate, do your parents' names need to be in Greek or their English names?
On your
US birth certificate.
Usually when there are discrepancies, when your parents change your name, we ask for the naturalization certificate. This is the document through which your parent was granted US citizenship. Okay. And usually you can see the name change on the back.
Thank you.
Yes.
What if you can't find the naturalization paperwork if they were given citizenship in Ellis Island in the 1800s?
Usually you're able to retrieve them. I mean, you as their child has the right to reissue it. I mean, I know it takes some time, but usually we want to have the legal proof of the name change. If not, what could work alternatively is 2 passports with the 2 names. So if your parent is living, let's say, and they have a different name in the US and Greece, if your parent can present a valid passport from the United States and from Greece with a photo, we can use it.
Hi. So if I have my Greek citizenship already and I need to register my marriage, I've reached out to you, so I have all the documents. But the other question is, if I want to get my kids' Greek citizenship, I first have to get my marriage registered.
Exactly.
Then I can take you.
Always remember that this is a chain of events,
Right.
and the one event will lead you to the other. Your kids cannot be registered unless your marriage is registered.
Okay.
That's why it's very important to register everything.
Yes, okay, perfect, thank you.
Hey, so everything seems to start with that family status certificate. If you don't, I don't have that. How does one get that?
That's why this is the best slide. So we can assist you.
Okay.
You only need to send us an email with the full name of your ancestor, the full date of birth, father's name, mother's name, birth location, so that we know where to send it, and we will be able to send an official request on your behalf to your municipality.
That's great, because I looked on the website and I couldn't get past page 1. And so is a birth certificate with apostille, that's something from Greece too? Or is that something from that's a different document than the family status certificate?
Yes.
There are two birth documents.
Yes.
We're going to take about 3 more questions.
Yes.
And then we're going to go back.
If you were born in Greece and moved here at 90 years of age or 10, are you automatically registered in?
If your parents have registered your birth, you are a Greek citizen. If not, you're not. But we have to go back with your birth certificate and check with the municipality of your parents to see if you're added in their family tree.
Is there a possibility that you were born in Greece and your parents did not?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. The mere fact that you're born in Greece does not give citizenship. You have to be registered. Yes.
Thank you.
So you mentioned that citizenship is by-blood. So if I've gone through the process and become a Greek citizen a few years ago, but haven't registered my marriage, but my husband is not a Greek descendant. So can I get him Greek citizenship?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Your husband can get Greek citizenship only if you reside permanently in Greece for 3 consecutive years if you have children together, or 7 consecutive years if you don't have children. Nevertheless, the next best thing that your husband can have is a green card, is a permanent residence card, which will allow him to reside in Greece with his Greek citizen spouse as much as he wants. He doesn't need a Greek citizenship, but as a spouse, if your marriage is registered, he can get a green card.
Can you talk about conscription at all, and if it applies to citizens living abroad, and if there's
I didn't hear you.
Can you talk about conscription, army conscription?
Oh, yeah. That's very important as well. Yes, indeed, all male registered Greek citizens are obliged to serve the army from the age of 18 to the age of 45. Permanent residents abroad are exempted for that military obligation, and for this, there is a process that is conducted in the Greek consulates of their permanent residents and of their permanent residents in the last 11 years. So yes, there is an obligation, and the male Greek citizens have to first complete the military deferment before they issue their Greek passport.
Your services are required, yes. Thank you so much for everybody